to Japan. Tonight we're in Kadama City in Osaka, which is the location where we develop all of our TVs for the global market. So Sebastian has been talking about how we've been trying to improve the gaming experience in 2021, and tonight I'd like to share with you two features which do exactly that. So the first feature is Amd Freesync Premium. So if you are a gamer and you're using a next generation console like this, or if you're gaming with a PC with an AMD graphics card, this is dramatically going to improve your experience because it's going to eliminate tears, it's going to eliminate the type of artifacts that you usually associate with gaming with a television. So that's feature number one. The second feature I want to talk about is Hdmi 2.1 VRR. So currently this JX940 is set to 60 Hz with game mode on. And this flashing you can see is being produced by a signal generator which is behind the television and you can't see. However, if you take a look at this oscilloscope down here, things become a little bit clearer. So this yellow line you can see here, this is that pulse which is being generated by the signal generator. And the point at the leftmost point of this part here, is basically the point that that signal is entering the HDMI. Whereas the blue bit on the left-hand side here, this blue bit here, this is the point at which it basically has been through all of the internal signal processing and it's just about to be displayed on the panel. So the difference between here and here is essentially the latency which is caused by that internal processing. And if you look at the figure here, it's roughly 10.9 milliseconds, which is more or less in line with the demo I did back in January. So what I want to show you now is how we can further improve this by using VRR. So we're going to change the settings. We're going to put it into 120 Hertz and we're going to switch VRR on. So here we are, VRR. We're going to switch that on and then we're going to have another look at this oscilloscope. So you take a look at this, you should be able to see immediately that this blue part is shifted across to the left, which means that that internal processing part has been reduced even further. And if we dial it in, we move this across to here to see how long that is between. So this is the point that it enters the HDMI. This is the point that it comes out of the internal signal processing. And that's now been reduced down to 2.5 milliseconds, which is a further reduction of about 8 milliseconds compared to the 60 Hz game mode on, which means that if you're a gamer, you've got VRR switched on, the point that you're operating the joystick is going to be almost instantaneously that's going to be showing up on the screen, which is going to make for a really butterly smooth, perfect gaming experience. Okay, so that's the two demos I wanted to show you. Next, I want to talk to you about HDMI 2.1. So in 2021, all models down to the JX940 are going to feature two HDMI 2.1 ports. At the time of shipping, they'll all be able to receive 4K high frame rate and also 4K 120 Hz VRR signals, but will only be able to display half the vertical resolution. But don't worry, for 4K high frame rate, we're going to be introducing a firmware update sometime in 2021, which will fully resolve that issue. And then for 4K 120 Hz VRR, we'll be making subsequent announcements in due time. For all other configurations, the sets will work exactly as they're supposed to work. So that's it. That's everything I wanted to share with you from Japan tonight. Thank you very much.